I am all in right now on the Breakpoint series on Netflix. And I know a lot of people were into Drive to Survive. I can't wait for the golf one that's coming out in like less than a month. And I think the NHL's got to take advantage of this. You see these sports that are growing massively because they're putting out documentaries and they're giving fans a real inside look into the sport, and not just current fans, but it's creating new fans because these things are done so well. And I think the NHL is making a huge mistake not having something like this for people to look at. And I'm not talking about some propaganda style thing that you put out on NHL.com that's just all fluff. I think fans of the game, and again, people who might not know enough about the NHL but are really intrigued by it, they'd be all in. There are some great characters and great stories in this sport. And I think it's a shame that it's not being told a little bit more in depth and a little bit more unfiltered.
Well, look, first off, I'm a huge tennis fan, so I'm dialed in every night to the Australian Open right now.
Oh,
So I'll be looking to see if you're giving any good prop bets on the Australian Open that I can pick off for you. But I haven't seen Point Break yet, but I have heard from everybody and anybody that they love it. Paul Stastny was texting me about it the other day because he's also a big Roger Federer and big tennis fan himself, but told me their whole team has been dialed in on it. And a lot of the guys, they're not tennis fans and they're not into it. So one thing my wife and I watch every year we look forward to is Hard Knocks on HBO for the
yep.
NFL. And I'm with you. I think doing something with Netflix, putting it on a big platform, continually putting out content. I know, the Boston Bruins have done a nice job over the years with Behind the B. I think that gives a little bit of a look into behind the scenes, the locker room, the practice facility, where the just everything that goes into being an NHL player every day. The Blackhawks have one out right now called Next Shift. I also think that it's been really cool just to get Kyle Davidson, Norm McIver, Luke Richardson, Jonathan Taves. These guys are constantly sitting down doing interviews, really talking about what's happening day to day. So I am with you. I think that it's a fine line because you don't want it to be a propaganda vehicle, but ultimately show people what day-to-day life is like for these NHL players.